Alright, so we have a fun fight here with Danny Roberts and Tim Means. So Danny Roberts is coming off a 17-month layoff, haven't seen him in a while, but he's back now and it should be a fun fight here. So both these guys are strikers primarily. I think, well, Tim Means has been coming in as a southpaw quite a bit lately against Mike Perry, against Staropoli, I believe, as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out southpaw as well. Meets the southpaw in Danny Roberts. And for Tim Means, he has fluid hands. He has nice hands. And he has good footwork as well. Good strike and defense in general. He can get tagged. He can be a little too over-aggressive at times. But, in general, good strike and defense at distance. And Danny Roberts, he's more of a power puncher. He likes to walk you onto his punches, trying to set up those big shots. He's usually fighting off the back foot. He's trying to walk you onto his strikes. He likes the 3-2. He covers a lot of distance when he does throw the straight left or when he sets it up with the right hook. Gets full extension of his arm, really turns the shoulder into his straight left. And he does telegraph it a little bit. He takes a huge step in with the lead leg just to pop out the jab or throw the right hook. And it kind of lets you know the straight left is coming. It's a huge step that he takes in with the lead leg. It just lets you know what's coming. And for Tim Means, he has a nice jab in either stance, either southpaw or orthodox. He has a nice jab, uses his length well. He's quite big for the division, but Danny Roberts has got good size for the division as well. And for Tim Means, as I said before, he has fluid strike and he has a nice straight elbow when he's hand fighting at distance, hand fighting through the two, nice counter two, nice counter uppercut when the opponent's close on distance. Especially on shorter fighters, he'll go for that uppercut. Nice clinch knee to the body, just mix it in with a combination if he's in range for it. Very fluid, just goes from technique to technique. But he can keep his lead hand low when you pressure him back on the back foot. It's not really something Danny Roberts looks to do. He will push you back with a blitz combination, but, he's more of a plant his feet and start firing bombs kind of guy when you are pushing Danny Roberts back. And I think he is quite uncomfortable when he is pressured. For Danny Roberts, he seems... starts winging his punch, starts just really planting his feet and making himself quite a still target and just overextending on his shots, and he will overextend quite frequently when he is getting pressured. Tries to fight himself out of that position, but can leave him open for other techniques, and Tim Means has been mixing up the takedowns a bit recently. Nice body lock throws when the opponent's close in distance, mat returns, doesn't have the best top control, but, he's been mixing it up a bit. And for Danny Roberts, he will clinch up when he is pressured. As I said before, quite uncomfortable when he's pressured and goes for takedowns, which isn't really his style. And he doesn't have the best technique on the driving double. He will just kind of try and cheat the finish, try and fall over his opponent, hoping they just fall on top, hoping they fall behind him. And he will stall in bad positions in scrambles, and, we'll talk about that in a sec, but he can get caught just in bad positions, just kind of turtling up and letting opponents get their hooks in and stuff like that. Just stalls and scrambles in general. But when he gets on top, he does have aggressive ground and pound. He really puts a lot into his ground and pound, and in turn, he does have poor top control, but he has aggressive ground and pound, and he's trying to put you out with the ground and pound. Alright, so how these guys win fights. So for Danny Roberts, he's got notable power in both hands. He can knock you out. He's got one punch knockout power for sure. For Tim Means, he's got good cardio, good volume. He definitely has the cardio advantage in this one. How these guys lose fights. So for Tim Means, he's getting older. He's taken a fair amount of damage in his career so far. And for Danny Roberts, he's got poor takedown defense. He's got a suspect chin. Same as Means, but I feel like Danny Roberts' chin is more shot. He's younger, so I think Means has an excuse, but Danny Roberts really doesn't. And he just has poor fight IQ, Danny Roberts, especially regarding grappling exchanges and engaging when he probably shouldn't be, like the David Zawada fight and then the Claudio Silva fight. Like, it just engages when he really shouldn't, and, in turn gets in close fights or even loses fights when he has a big advantage standing. Path to victory for these two. So for Danny Roberts, look for the hooks in the pocket, set up your left-hand bombs, don't just, wing them out. The guy does have good strike and defense, so you got to set up. And look for low calf kicks as well. If he's going to be coming out in southpaw, look for the low calf kicks, really try and damage that lead leg. For Tim Means, look to pressure early. Don't let him settle into the fight. Don't let him shake off the ring rust, Put out a lot of jabs, a lot of volume. Knees to the body when he clinches up, when he clinches up, when he gets uncomfortable, when he's getting pressured. But also look for, fence control, knees on the fence. He's been controlled on the fence quite a bit in the past. and look for takedowns when he does overextend, or when he takes that huge step in with the lead leg and he pops out the jab or the right hook, and then he's probably following up with the 2. You go for the takedown, either get in the body lock position or go for a reactive double leg, and then get on top control and win some minutes there. Alright, so how I see this fight going. For some reason, I'm very confident Tim Means isn't going to lose to Danny Roberts. It's just the way I'm seeing the fight. This isn't the type of fight I'd ever really be this confident in. But my gut is telling me that, Means is an absolute lock, which is crazy because it's Tim Means, got a lot of question marks around him. He's getting up there in age, likes to get in a brawl, which isn't really advisable at his age, and especially with a power puncher like Danny Roberts. But, I just think he's a much better fighter than Danny Roberts. I think the pressure of Means is going to give Danny Roberts fits. He's also just more comfortable in the pocket, which is where, both these guys like to throw down. I think Danny Roberts is a little uncomfortable when it does get into a firefight, when people start hitting him back. Roberts' takedown defense is really bad as well. I think Means is going to look to exploit that. I think Means is just a much more intelligent fighter at the end of the day, and I trust him to make the correct decision if the fight isn't going his way. So yeah, I think Means is just better everywhere. I think he needs to watch out for the big bombs of Roberts, but yeah, if Roberts doesn't catch him with a big bomb in the pocket, I think Tim Means is going to cruise to a win here. But I see Tim Means finishing him, actually. So we'll look at the betting lines. Yeah, so I do think Tim Means gets a TKO round 2 or 3. I'd say 3 if I'm going to give a prediction. So yeah, Means, I think he wins a good chunk of the time, 75 or 70 to 75% of the time. So yeah, I'm looking to bet Means if he's at $1.50 or minus 200, I believe that is. Yeah. But yeah, probably just small because of the durability concerns of Tim Means, but I'm irrationally confident that Tim Means does win this fairly easily. But yeah, that's what I'm betting, and that's my prediction.